welcome back to Behind the Scenes with Christy. Just kidding. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Behind the Scenes with your girl, Christy. It's been 2 weeks now that I've recorded a video and I have some explanations to do. The reason I haven't done a video, it's because me entró la hueva. Now, if I'm being honest, my birthday just passed on May 1st, so my birthday happened. I did record some videos. I recorded my quarantine birthday, which was super cute and super sweet. I had an awesome time. And then I also recorded a video of me toning my hair because you know that I had to look snatched for my birthday, even if I was gonna be indoors. So I did a couple of videos. I didn't slack, and I'll be posting those up after this one. But yeah, I was celebrating my birthday, and it wasn't only my birthday, it was my dad's birthday as well. So we were both celebrating, and the whole weekend, like 2 weeks ago, was it like a week and a half ago, was based on that. And then I just caught up on some things around the house. Honestly, it wasn't like straight up hueva, pero sí me entró un poquito, and I just kind of enjoyed a little bit alone time and, you know, taking in like everything that's currently happening, because as you all know, we're still stuck indoors and it's about to be 2 months now, so that can be a little hard on people, and I am not an exception to that whatsoever. It's been a lot of ups and downs, but you know, it just makes you human. If you're feeling some type of way through this whole quarantine situation, it makes you feel human. So yep, that's pretty much it. I've been gone for a minute, but I am back now, and I will be teaching you guys how to do makeup. That's honestly the only reason why I decided to do my YouTube channel. I feel that I have a lot of knowledge that I'd like to pass down, so I will be teaching you, ladies and gents, if you're into makeup, how to do your makeup the way that I do, or the little tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. So today I will be teaching you guys how to contour your face. I will be doing half of my face with a contour that helps me and clients that I work with keep the makeup on all night, like a contour that just can last you for hours. And then on this side, I will be doing a contour that is just my everyday go-to contour. It's very simple. Both are cream-based contours. I will show you how to cover it up with powder. I won't be covering up this side with powder because, like I mentioned, it's an everyday look that I use. But on this side, I will be showing you. Yeah, so I'll be showing you guys both sides, and then you guys can play and mix and match with whatever you like to use. Another note, I will be using Prestige items and drugstore items. For those of you that don't know the difference between both, Prestige is more of a higher brand of makeup, which you obviously pay more money for, and then drugstore makeup, it's still good quality, but you don't break a buck for it. These are both items that I live by. I've been doing makeup for more than 10 years, and these are items that I've used on clients, I've used on myself, and I love them. They could be super high-end or they could be super inexpensive. They won't break your pocket and I've had great success with both of them, Prestige or drugstore. So I will be showing you guys how to achieve my contour looks. If you're interested, please keep on watching, and I'll be posting up more videos soon. So thank you guys for sticking around. Here we go. Okay, so let's get this video going. I already did my eye makeup, very simple, and I did my eyebrows. I haven't done my face yet, so I left that completely bare so I can like walk you guys through the steps. I will be putting my hair with a headband, and to be honest, I don't use many, but I found this little gem in my drawer, and this is from a birthday party that I had. Was it a birthday party? No, I'm sorry, a Halloween party where I was a flapper, and I did this with a cute little like feather. So I will be doing that. So yeah, me voy a parecer bien poppies, but whatever, it's a headband, just something to keep away the hair from your face. Anything, it could be a clip, whatever you want to use. Okay, so let's jump into it. First things first, please make sure, whether it's daytime, nighttime makeup, whatever you're doing, make sure your face is moisturized. Later on I'll be showing you guys like my skincare routine, but for now just make sure you have moisturized face. I'm very proud of my skin lately because I've been taking really good care of it. I've been exercising daily. I've been drinking a lot of water. I drink about 6 of these a day, and this is a 34-ounce water bottle. So I drink a lot of water. I've been using the Vital Proteins collagen as well, which is really good for like glowy skin. So as you guys see, I don't have any foundation on or BB creams or nothing, and the skin is glowing. So yay! It's really hard to get your skin to look good, and you all know, all you girls know, that this stuff doesn't just happen overnight. You have to put a lot of effort into this, so we're very proud right now. Okay, so we're gonna do half of the face. Half of this face, like I mentioned, I will be doing makeup that lasts longer all night. This side I'll be doing daytime look. Let's start with the left side. My left, your right.
So let's do one first, take a sip.
Also, side note, I'm sorry that I talk English and Spanish. I'm a very proud Mexican American girl. Grew up in the US, but I have very, very, very Mexican roots installed in me, so I tend to talk both English and Spanish. That's my everyday, so I will be talking both languages at times, and I apologize. Well, I'm not even gonna apologize for that, because you know what? I'm a proud Latina. I won't apologize for it, but I will say disregard if you don't know Spanish, because it's just my nature. Okay, let's get this going. Left side, we're gonna imagine a line here, and I'll be putting this back so you guys can really see. First things first, I like to spray my face with this Mario Badescu. I don't know how to say it, to be honest. Badescu facial spray, and I'll put the description below for you ladies so you guys can check it out. So I like to spray my face, and it's perfect for this. I don't like let it sit in. I already put moisturizer prior to this, so it's already kind of like all set in. Alrighty, now for this side, like I mentioned, this is an everyday look, which means that I don't like to use foundation on a daily basis. I have an office job. I travel from time to time, and to be honest, I don't like wearing heavy makeup throughout the day. I just feel like since you're in an office, you're looking at a computer for so long. I wear glasses at work too. It's just hard for me to have a lot of makeup, and then if you have oily skin, then it'll start melting off, and then if you have eyeliner, it'll start dripping. So I try to avoid all that, and what I found is this Tarte Amazonian Clay BB cream, and it's become my holy grail. I've been using it for a year now. It's a BB tinted moisturizer. So I use the color Light, and it's a little lighter for me than it should be, but it's a BB cream, and you can play with it, and it will oxidize with your skin, so throughout the day it'll like kind of match in with your skin tone, and then the contour will help it as well. I will be placing this on the left side. Now what I like to use to place this on my face is a beauty blender. This is Morphe, so I just put a generous amount on here, and it's only left side, so le voy a poner un poquito, put a little bit on there, and then just kind of spread it evenly. You notice I didn't put primer, and that's because, as I mentioned, this is an everyday makeup side, so I will not be posting, so I will not be placing primer on this side, because as you all know, primer is expensive, and if you're always balling on a budget, you don't want to waste that extra money on primer, where in reality it's gonna come off anyways at the end of the night. And who are you gonna impress throughout the day besides yourself? Nobody. Unless you're impressing somebody, girl, spend that extra money, use the primer, and go flaunt your face to that person you're trying to impress. But if you don't, then don't do it. So as you all see, covers a lot. It's a BB cream, so it shouldn't be too harsh on your skin. Always remember to bring it down, because you don't want to have one color your face and a different color your neck. So try to bring it down if possible. And that's about it. So now, what I like to do is I like to put on concealer. I use the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is my holy grail concealer. It's my everyday go-to concealer. I like that it's full coverage, but with a very natural finish to it. It moisturizes your face. It also helps cover a lot of things, and it is a little bit on the pricey side. I think it ranges from $25 to $28, but this thing lasts me close to 6 months, so it's a good buy. And to be honest, if you're gonna spend money on something, you want to spend money on something that's gonna last you. So this is what it looks like, the little wand. And I don't like to use that much, so I'll be using a little bit. So what I do is that I dab 1, 2. Very simple. For many of you, I'm not sure, I tend to have problem areas here, but like I mentioned, I'm taking care of my skin a lot, so it's not becoming that much, but I still have like a little dot. So I'll put a little there, and then right here my nose because of the redness, and that's about it. So then I grab the same beauty blender and I start beating my face. If you guys ever hear that term, that's what it means. You're beating your face. You're putting the beauty blender close to your face and dabbing it like this because you want it to really get in there. So you see, a little bit goes a long way. And that's why we like beauty blenders, because the dampness of a beauty blender will help it seep into the skin. I may have put a lot. A lot more than I usually do, but it's okay. I'll use it to cover around my eyebrows, which I tend to do all the time. Really get in there for my nose. And then just go over the whole side. Kind of let the BB cream and the concealer work their magic together. So this is where we're at, and as you notice, this side looks very clean and this side looks very, and that's the power of concealer, to be honest. This is the perfect view of it. Concealer just kind of hides those circles, and it doesn't, I mean, I hope the lighting helps, but regardless, you notice the difference of the concealer. So that's what we do there. If you have an oily face, I suggest using any type of setting powder. If you don't have an oily face, then you don't really need it because it's an everyday look. I like to use setting powder for under eyes only because I use glasses, as I mentioned, and when I'm looking at the screen so much, I feel like the irritation of my eyes probably makes my eyes get watery or whatnot. So I'll notice that they'll be creasing with, you know, the different types of concealers that I use. That's why I started using this one. It doesn't crease, but I always like to have that extra coverage, so I'll use this Huda Beauty setting powder just to kind of like set everything in, and I don't have a problem with it. So blend that out one more time, and then you just go into your powder very lightly. You see, very, very lightly, and cover up that concealer that you just used on your face. And I go on here if I like to, and that's it. Very simple, very to the point. Alrighty, next step is contour. Okay, ladies. I have worked with makeup for a very long time. I have played with different types of formulas, different types of creams, different types of powders. I know what my face needs and what it doesn't, and what lasts and what doesn't. This item that I will be showing you that I use on a daily basis is my holy grail now for 4 years. I've been using this item for 4 years now. It's a little bit on the expensive side, but I've done my research and I have found that this one just gives me that natural glow that I want, the natural contour, super easy to use, and it lasts me close to a year. So it is the Soleil Tan de Chanel. I think that's how you say it. I'm not French and I'm not, you know, Chanel vocabulary might be off, but it's from Chanel. It's a cream contour and it only comes in one shade. For those of you that are more on the darker side, this is a great base for your makeup. It helps to stay on all day. And for those of you that are more on the fair side, on the lighter side, this is a really, really great cream contouring, you'll notice right now. And like I mentioned, it's a little bit higher, and this does cost $50, but this thing lasts you close to a year. And I use it every day. Every day. So imagine that, everyday use, lasts a whole year, $50. So you do the math, it's worth your buck. There's two different ways of using this type of bronzer. You can use a brush. Once again, I wanted to splurge a little bit because I use it so much. I went and bought the Chanel brush that goes with it. You don't need to do that. Lately, what I've been doing a lot is that I've been using my beauty blender to dip it in here, and with the moisture of the beauty blender, I just feel that it goes into my skin so rich and that it blends it so nicely that it just gives it like this very overall natural look that I love. What I do, as I mentioned, is I put my beauty sponge in there, kind of dip it in, you know, have a little bit there, and then I find the natural curve of my cheekbone. When you smile, you'll see it. If you make the little fishy face, you'll see it as well. I tend to tell girls that it's literally where your sideburn, I guess you could say, is at and connects to your mouth. So this little area right here is usually, and you'll notice you have a natural shadow there already. So what I do is that I'll grab this beauty sponge and I'll make that little face and I'll start outlining it, pounding it into my skin so that it really blends in with the BB Tinted Moisturizer that I just used. So just watch as I do it. So you notice that it's very natural, it's not too exaggerated, it's just like a really pretty finish for me personally. And then I'll just go in there again, and then what I do now is that I go to the temple up here so that I can have that pretty shadow. Go to the top, and then I connect the both. And lastly, what you do is you dip this in here, and then you start pounding it into your jaw to hide that extra quarantine food that you've been taking in or to define what you've been working on, because I've been working on this jaw. It's not going down, but whatever, bronzer will make anything hide. So you just put that in there, beat it, as many will say, and very defined. So there you have it. This is my natural everyday makeup, and this is just simple for office. If you want to have a natural day out with your girls, get some brunch, very simple brunch, not party it up brunch, but simple brunch, or family day, this is your best friend natural contour. So now we're gonna go to the right side, and the right side is going to be my nighttime contour, the type of contour that I would do if I was attending a wedding. I want it to last all day. This is the type of contour that I would do on a client that has, let's say, a full day of photos to do or whatnot. And you will be surprised because of the items that I use on this side are actually inexpensive compared to this side. For this side, for Chanel, there are dupes, and I'm sure if you YouTube it, you can find dupes for this. Personally, I've tried dupes and I haven't found anything close to this that I like, and like I mentioned, this goes a long way, so this is what works for me. Right now, maybe it won't work for you, but if you have any cream contour that you love, then you can use the same technique that I do, and hopefully it works for you. So that's this side. I like to finish it off with this spray, but I won't do that till the end because I usually like to finish both looks with this spray, so I'll leave it till that. Okay, so there you have it, my left side done. Now time to work on my right side. As I mentioned, the right side is going to be a little bit more defined, and this is for those of you that like to have contour that's going to like really show and it will last all day. I recommend it for special occasions or any type of that stuff. So let's go to the side. Okay, now on this side, I will use a primer. My go-to primer at the moment is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and that's because it hides all my pores, the little pores that I can't get rid of with skincare, and it actually lasts all day. This is a very good dupe for the Tatcha Putty Primer, I believe that's what it's called. I'll put it below, but it's a very inexpensive dupe for that. So if you want to spend a little bit more on a primer, go ahead and use that. If you want to use less, use this. You can use it, it lasts all day. Okay, so I just go ahead and dip it in here. I use it a lot, so put my primer on. I have pores more on my cheeks, so that's where I use this primer. And I like to use it on my forehead for my T-zone. And just a little bit, whatever is left over, I go on the rest of my skin, but that's where we're at. So that's what I do now. All right, now here, what you do first is that you put on your foundation. I use different foundations. Right now, my holy grail is the Marc Jacobs foundation. I'm obsessed with this foundation. It's a little bit pricier, but this is the foundation that I use when I go out. When I have to go, you know, if I have to work all day and I want to have like a very defined makeup look, then this is what I use. If I'm gonna go out and dance and I know I'm gonna sweat, this is what I use. If I'm gonna do a photo shoot and I'm gonna get glammed up and take pictures, this is what I use because it makes my skin look so pretty. You can use any type of foundation. Inexpensive brand for this type of foundation that I really like is the Born This Way foundation. I think of it as the same as this one because I have normal to dry skin, so I feel like it works best for me. Whatever foundation you have on hand that you like to use, that you know will last you all day, then go ahead and use. So let me put on my foundation and then I'll show you guys how to contour. When it comes to an all-night look and I really want everything to stay in place, I will use a brush over a beauty blender, and that's because I really want the foundation to really get into my skin and stay all night long. So what I'm using is this, it's a JH03 brush. I love this brush. I've been using it for 2 years now. I spray a little bit of this because this is a full coverage foundation, so I really wanted to give me like a very natural finish. So I stipple it into my skin like this. And when you do this type of motion, it really gets into your skin because you're pressing it into it. Do you guys notice like do you guys notice I close my eye? I close my eye because when I was little and I was learning how to do my makeup through YouTube, there's this guru, her name is Nicole Guerrero, and she used to always close her eye because she said that her eye would always help, like one eye would always look more clear. And I picked up that habit and I haven't left it since. So I like to close my eye for some weird reason and it helps me. So yeah. Okay, I'm back. I got a FaceTime from Ms. Gorge Paula. Okay, once you have your foundation on, next step is the contour. And for the contour on this side, what we will be doing is we will be using a dark shade concealer and a light shade concealer. The light shade concealer will help us brighten up under our eyes and under our cheekbone right here. And the dark will help us with the shadows. Now, these products that I use, you guys are probably gonna be like, wow, Christina, really? The products that I use on this side have been my holy grail products for 10 years now. They're super, 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 super inexpensive. And I heard about these products through this very famous makeup artist on Instagram. Her name is Dress Your Face. And she has been doing Bollywood makeup looks forever. I've been following her since I was like about 16. And I'm obsessed with Bollywood makeup and how like intact and beautiful it looks. So I always wanted to achieve that. And I ended up buying these products and I fell in love. Clients love how their face looks so chiseled and contour after I use them. And I used it on myself too as well. I've used it for when I go to weddings, quinceañeras, nights out when I just want to have a very like snatched face. And they're the LA Girl Pro Concealer. These things retail for literally like $5. Super, super, super inexpensive, and it's a good size. This thing will last you for like a month or two if you use it like a lot. If you don't, it'll last you a really long time. I bought new ones because I wanted you guys to see how they look. This is how they come. And this color is the one that she uses all the time, and the color is beautiful bronze. I will list it down below. And then I just kind of took a guess on my color, but this is porcelain. I use different shades of the light one, depends on how light I want to go. So these are my holy grails for 10 years now, $5 or less at any drugstore. So watch me as I contour on this side. Let me get these going. I bought new ones so you guys can see, but I've had them for years. So yeah, let me just get this going on paper and we'll get this going. As you start squeezing it, you'll start seeing the product come out. It's right there. Looks like chocolate. And I like to use my hand as my little plate to mix. And this is the color. This color goes with me in most fair to medium skin tones. Even if you're on the darker side of skin, you can still use this. So this is what I use for a contour, and then for the conceal like highlight part, I use this. And once again, here we go. Product comes out, and we use our hand as our little color plate. Those are the two colors. We have Beautiful Bronze and Porcelain up there, and that's what I will be using on this side. So we're going in with Beautiful Bronze, and same as we did on this side, we're gonna do on this. Follow that natural shadow that you see. Do the fishy face if you need to, and just make the line. If you have learned about contour before, if you watch videos before, you always notice that they say the 3 contour tip, which is your cheek, your temple, and your jaw, and you connect them all. I like to use that, but with my own twist to it. And here we go. So there's the cheek. Here is where I like to do 1, 2, and then I like to go around the top part of my forehead because I feel like it just kind of closes it together. And then lastly, the jaw, so we can hide the jaw that we want to define so much. So I just cover it because you don't want your product to dry up. And then next what I do is that I'll use this and use it as my highlight. So now we go here and I squeeze out some more product, dip it in here. And I do 3 there. I go here because I want that to all come together, and then I feather this out like that. Alrighty, now next, what you use is a beauty sponge, beauty blender, beauty sponge, whatever you have on hand. I like the Morphe one because it has this angle and it really helps me out. And then I use this Mario facial spray. I spray it very generously. Get that damp. I just start putting it into my face, beating it into my face, stippling it into my face, pounding it on my face, whatever. So you just do that and you start following the natural contour that you just made on yourself. You really have to put pressure on this because what I have found about this concealer is that it will last all day because it dries into your skin really well. So you just have to try and make sure that you really put it in there so that it blends out. I do the brown part first because when I go and do the highlight, which is the lighter part, I want it to blend it out completely. Do you notice how chiseled that looks? Remember, don't forget your neck. You don't want to look like you forgot your neck. And then lastly, we do your cheek. Now here's where you're gonna put your beauty sponge and really go define the cheek. So make the little face and really pressure that into your skin so it blends in. Yeah, I'm making a really weird face with this because I really want it to be defined. So, and then you connect both the top, the cheek, and then you go down and connect the bottom. You see? Now, with the other side of your beauty sponge, you do the light. So, go into the light. And you see how it already defines it for you? Go to your forehead. You see? And then lastly, we do the conceal on under eye. Okay, now this part is hit or miss. For many of you, you don't have a lot of dark circles. This is perfect. This is simple. It's a concealer. It's gonna conceal. You know, that's what it's for. But for those of you that like a more defined conceal, then that's when you go in with any concealer you have on hand that you love. And then you really put a generous amount of product to conceal under your eyes. And that's because we want to look snatched, because we're going to have this makeup on all day. Don't worry if you cover your eyes. I tend to do my face first when it comes to going out, so I just wanted to have like an eye look so you guys can see it all together, but I tend to do my face first anyways, so don't worry about your eye makeup. You can always fix it later. I think I'm gonna go in there and add more to this side because I want the temple to look more defined than what I just did. So and contour, for those of you that don't know, just helps so when you take pictures, it helps to show the shadows in your faces and it gives you a slimmer look, to show a very defined face. So you notice the difference is very natural. My cheek looks a little bit thicker on this side, where this side you notice how the arch just goes down and it just kind of like closes in everything. So you guys can see the difference from both. Okay, once we have that going for us, now what we want to do is add a powder. I use this Cheek Leaders Brown Squad from Benefit, and I just like it because it gives me the Hoola bronzer. It gives me a more like lighter bronzer, and you know, whatever works for you, whatever kind of powder bronzer that you have on hand. Now, the next part is your brush. You will want to use a brush for this because the brush is really gonna help everything just kind of close in. You can go different ways. This is the Jaclyn Hill. I will list it below, but this is a very thick round brush. She used this when she promoted her brush line, and I use this when I want the contour to just show exaggerated and have it very, very defined. I also have a very inexpensive brand brush, and it's just fluffy all around. It also hugs my cheek really well so that I could contour. Or for the girl that just always uses this kind of brush, you have the angled contour brush, and this is the official brush that you use when you contour. So for today's video, I will show you what it's like to use an angled contour brush, and this just helps to really get into the cheek and hug it nicely, and for the product to just come in really well. So I will go into this, and since I want it to be very defined and for it to last longer, I will be using the darker color. Even if I'm light, tap off the excess and then just go and cover everything that you just used cream on. So make sure to make the little face so that you can really define it. Do you notice how I just like very slowly feather it, tap it in there? I'm not harsh with it. I want to treat the makeup very nice, like a feather, because when you treat your makeup like a feather and your face very gentle, everything starts to blend really nice and it just looks effortless. It looks photoshopped. It just looks gorgeous. So the same thing, grab more product and get on the top, on the temple. Like I mentioned, these are your shadows. Go around your forehead, connect it to the cheek, and you start seeing the dimension there. And lastly, we're gonna go with the jaw. Here is where I go to where my ear starts, and then I start coming down here, because I want it to look very defined. And don't forget your jaw. So now you see how it all came together. The cream, the powder, it just defines your face. You really connect all of them. You start doing this whole 3 motion, and as many of you like to call it, the Nike swoosh. And really just cover that up. And then next, what you do is that you go to the parts that you concealed, and then you use your setting powder. I use the Huda Beauty Banana Bread baking powder. And when it comes to baking, just make sure that you take away the creases while you were doing the rest of it with your beauty sponge, and then you dip it into here. And now this time you're going to grab more product because we'll be baking, so really dip it in there. The dampness of the beauty sponge will have you grab more product, and then make sure you look up. And that's what you do. The same thing down here. You grab more, and this is for, I'm gonna go into this side only because the powder is gonna be a lot, but don't worry about it going into your eyebrow because it actually helps the eyebrow pencil stay longer. And then what I love about this beauty sponge is that it's angled so that you can really get a defined cheek look. So right here is where you go and you chisel out more the cheek if you'd like, and you make that line, you see? Now, when I'm in front of my mirror, that's where I want to see, okay, how do I want to look? Do I want to look like Khloe or Kim Kardashian today? Just kidding. No, honestly, I just like to see the natural curve of my face. So many girls will like it to be just straight. I don't like that. I like, because when I laugh, do you notice how my cheeks have this natural curve right here? So I like to define that. I think it looks really pretty. So what I do is that I'll do this, and then I'll follow this line, and then I'll give myself that curve so that I get a very defined cheekbone. So when I smile, you can see it. And it's all up to you, however you have your natural curve, but that's what I do. And then lastly, I put whatever's left on the bottom. This is a setting powder anyway, so it's going to set. And now you just use any type of brush like this that you have on hand and blend out that powder that you used earlier. And really do circular motions so that you blend in the actual contour with the highlight that you have. And there you have it, more defined. And there you have it. I walked away so I could define the eyeliner again, add a little bit of a lower lash mascara, and I'm going to show you guys just how I finish off both sides with a little highlighter because I love to glow. Even if it's naturally or nighttime, I love to glow. So okay, I'll be adding a little highlighter and then I will be saying goodbye. So let me speed through this because I will do another video on highlighters later. Okay guys, so there you have it. My contour routines for daytime and nighttime. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you guys learned some new tricks, whether it's for an everyday look on this side or a nighttime. I want to take the night in the town and have the time of my life. Either one of these works for you, and I really hope you girls learned something. As always, please give me a thumbs up if you like what you saw. Make sure that subscribe button works. Sometimes it doesn't work, so just click on it to make sure it works. And share this video with anybody that you feel needs a little help with the contour routine. I hope to see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye!